At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And job one here, Charles, just keep possession of the football. 2 drives, 2 turnovers to this point.
You're exactly right, Doctor. Hippocratic oath. First, do no harm. And right now, they're harming themselves on offense.
I like that. No one is mistaking me for a doctor, though. But thank you, Dr. Davis. Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Trubisky to throw. Going up top for Miller. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And the punt will kick out of bounds, and it'll be spotted inside the 30-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And now it's 1st and 10, a big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. We are in for a good one as we're through one on EA Sports.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Jim.
Cook following the penalty. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
The beauty of route running is it doesn't matter what position. Everyone's doing the same thing. In this case, tight end, selling the vertical route. Get the defensive back on his heels, break off for the corner. With good timing, you get a completion, as we just saw there.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Check 59, right?
Working out of the gun, Cousins. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 14. From the red zone now, Cousins. Dance, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Bilal Nichols able to run him down for a loss of 12 that time. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. To throw is Cousins. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, but had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
Now it's Trubisky. Robinson's got it. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Now it's Trubisky. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 24. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 22. They start the drive with Cook. Eddie Jackson with a tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
From the 27, Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Akeem Hicks, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. 3rd and long for Cousins. And he'll find Thielen on the right side. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join, who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the 2nd quarter, but
you don't want to.
We know, but that his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off around the 41. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Let's go. Leave it, 48.
Following the interception, Cousins escaping the pressure right. He's going to take a shot right away for the end. And this is intercepted, but they'll say out of bounds. So very close to a turnover there in the end zone. He was looking for Adam Thielen there. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Cousins gives way to Cook. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Mike 5'9". Here we go.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Cousins. Past the 20. It's complete to Diggs. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
Mike.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. Leonard Floyd in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. After the sack on 1st down, Cousins. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Coverage was very good that time. A nice job to smother him as the ball arrived, and that ensured an incomplete pass.
And it keeps 6 points off the board. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
He'll have a 1st down past the 40, and he'll get this all the way up to the 42-yard line. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with 23 seconds to go till halftime. On 1st and 10, it's Trubisky. It's complete. It's Miller. Now the Bears going to use the 2nd of their timeouts. as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Trubisky. He's got the hook up to Miller. Now the Bears will use their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1. Now Trubisky on 1st down. And it'll be intercepted. Good positioning, and it's picked off. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half.
That's it, baby. We're going to work.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them. On 1st down, Trubisky. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Danielle Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
The throw complete, Trubisky to Miller. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. Now Trubisky completes it to Miller. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. 1st down for the Bears, a gain of 15. Looking to throw, Trubisky on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off inside the 10, and he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Charles, whatever's going on between his ears right now, it's just not completely calculated correctly. 7 picks between last week and this week after that one.
And they always say the most important part of a player is those 6 inches between the ears. But right now, it's all those interceptions that are going on. So whoever his trusted confidant is on the sidelines, I don't know if it's the offense coordinator, the quarterback's coach, maybe the backup quarterback, that's who he needs to get with now and get himself calm.
Again, it's Cook. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there. 1st down, Vikings.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. 1st down, here's the run with Cook. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
3 down, 3 down.
A first down throw for Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he'll take this from 147-yard line to the other. A gain of 6.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Six yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down. Cousins now 12 of 17 through the air as he leads his guys up on first down. Now Cousins. He gets this one to Johnson. Touchdown, Vikings! Olabisi Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are going to widen that advantage.
I know a lot of people look at these games and think, all right, this thing's done. Let's have some sportsmanship. Let's not try and score. You should never do that in the NFL. I've seen big leads blown, and teams that look like they had a victory, all of a sudden we're going home with a loss.
And that one carries out of the side of the end zone for a touchback, so that will come out now to the 25-yard line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. Of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know what, a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
It's caught. It's Miller. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11. Trubisky now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 24. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used the calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it. And that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
It's a gain of 35. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Back now at Soldier Field. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. 3rd down, Dalvin Cook. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, you know, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 18 yards on that one, and Chicago has the first. Trubisky will throw. And he's been one of their few bright spots here this afternoon.
And as you pointed out, so far he's gotten his. That's not been the issue at all. But the teammates, the other guys, they've been shut down. That's why the defensive guys have to feel pretty good, even though he's over 100 yards.
Yeah, he topped 100 with that last catch. And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing.
Man, it's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Allen Robinson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bears cut into that lead. Eddie Pinheiro now for the extra point. Oh, how about this? No good. Just his 2nd miss of the year, and our score will stay right where it is. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. Oh, did the Bears get it? They did. Chicago football. Great job by the kick team there to get the football, but also don't forget about the man that started it, the lonesome kicker himself.
I love that you brought him into it because he doesn't get nearly the attention he deserves. Oftentimes it's only when it's negative. In this case, he created a positive play for his team.
The drive starts with a completion left side, and he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down. Now Trubisky to throw. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. That one goes for 24 yards. From the red zone now, here's Trubisky on first down. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll check on his status when we get back. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. 36 yards on the play.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Rudolph on the receiving end from Cousins. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Cousins. And that will be incomplete. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And this won't get there. Won't be online either. It's no good. Off to the right. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 29, and they will take over at the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It goes as a loss of 6. And now 3rd down. 3rd and long for Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And we are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 4th down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. Call that a 48-yard punt and made even better by a loss. On the return, and the Bears take over. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now, because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
Now a first down throw complete downfield, and they'll wind up getting... This one all the way down inside the 20. Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. That's going to go as a loss of 17 on the play, and that's going to bring up a second at about a mile here. The first down play, to be frank, nothing short of awful, and now they have to deal with second and very long. Throwing here, Trubisky, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on, third down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Now Trubisky on third and long. It's complete to Robinson. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on fourth down. They're going for it.
Hey, alert. Hey, Alpha. Pick it up, guys. Pick it up.
They'll try and throw for it with Trubisky. And he's got his man. That's Robinson. Touchdown, Bears. Allen Robinson with now 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns. And the Bears get a bit closer. And it's no good. It has not been his day. That's the second extra point he's missed so far. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And with the defense out of timeouts, powerless to stop the clock, this should just be a couple of kneel downs. Cook with a first down and much more. And finally, down at the 36-yard line. 39 yards there, a big one. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a run with Cook. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you watch high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They put up their goal to